Alright, tonight for dinner I'm going to make pork tenderloin. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's breaded, deep fried pork tenderloin. It's pretty good. Again, I want to give credit where credit is due. When I was younger, in my teenage years, I was friends with a family, the D'Amico family, Mary D'Amico. She was the mom. She's the one that made this, and I liked it so much. Just as a kid, I was like, I need to know how you do that, and I learned. I never forgot, and it's one of my favorites. So if you've never tried it, this is a great way to have pork tenderloin. So we're going to start out with about 2 pounds of pork tenderloin. Each one of those is about a pound. We're going to need a bowl to, after we bring that deep fryer, of course you see we got the deep fryer back there. We're going to need that. We're going to plug it in, bring it up to temperature, probably 365, something like that. We're going to need some breadcrumbs and some eggs, and also I got some cayenne pepper there. I'm going to try something new on it. I'm actually going to put the pepper in with the breadcrumbs and see if I can get some spice that way, because I like spicy things. That's going to be optional though. But let me get this set up so I can show you how to cut this tenderloin and get it ready, and I'll be back with you. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to start by cutting off some medallions. So, you know, inch pieces of this tenderloin. Something like that. Just to give you an idea. I'm going to cut them about that thick. We're going to go through this whole tenderloin and cut those off like that. You see how we do that. And then we're going to take them and we're going to take a tenderizer. Flatten them out a little bit. And we're going to end up with that right there. And then we'll put it in eggs and breadcrumbs and deep fry it. But anyways, that's how you do it. Have a plate ready on the side so that you can just pound them out and then set it over there. Like I say, you don't want to mince them. Just want to pat them out some and get some nice pieces like that. Alright, let me get the rest of this cut up and flattened out, and then we'll get it in some egg. Alright, let me show you what I got going on here. If you watch the chicken nuggets video, you just take some eggs. I've got 4 with my fingers crossed. That'll be enough. I don't always plan things out like I should, you know. Or I get to the store and, oops, eggshell. No big deal. You get an eggshell in there, reach and get it out. I don't know if people make a big deal out of it. You don't want a bunch of them in there, but hey, if you get one in there, what's the big deal, right? Pull it out. That was a big chunk, so I got lucky. Yeah, like I say, I get to the store, I forget half of what I'm supposed to get, but anyway, it's 4 eggs. I'm sure we're going to make it somehow. We're going to mix those up. Let me rinse my hands off here. Alright, and we're going to take, last time on the chicken recipe, what I did was I took and put hot sauce in with the eggs. But this time we're going to lay out our breadcrumbs. Do it a little different this time. It's one of the ideas my dad came up with, so we're going to try it live. And then we're going to take cayenne pepper. Sprinkle in there. That ought to give it a little boost, I would think. Stir that up. And there you go. Once the deep fryer gets up to temperature, I'll show you. We're gonna do it a lot like we did the chicken. We drag it through the egg, drag it through the breadcrumb, put it in the deep fryer. Voila! You know, we're done. Now, you know, the cooking is what's going to take the longest on this, because, you know, 2 pounds is quite a bit, and you can't cook but maybe 5-6 pieces at a time because of the size of them. So it's not hard work, it's just that it takes a while. The nice thing is though, again, you can put this in the refrigerator and you don't even have to heat it up. Just pull that container out of the refrigerator, get you a bottle of hot sauce and something cold to drink, go sit down on the TV. Let me tell you what, you'll have somebody come take it from me. You know, it's one of those foods. Get this stuff out of here. So now, again, Mrs. D'Amico, if you happen to see this video somehow, if I've screwed up your recipe, I surely apologize, but in the end it turns out and it tastes real well, and I sure appreciate you making this for me when I was younger and introducing me to all the great foods you made. But anyhow, let me get this deep fryer up to temperature and we'll come back and get these things cooking. Alright, we're just going to start by putting a piece of that pork tenderloin into the egg, breading it up. Simple stuff. That's what I like. Now I'll tell you what, the only other problem about this recipe is to make it simple, make it easy so it's not a big stress. You have to not worry about the dishes you're dirtying up and just use what you need. So that's how you do that. Let me get 4 or 5 of these ready to go into the deep fryer, and then I'll switch it over so y'all can see what's going on over there. Alright, deep fryer's up to temperature. You notice I've got the basket in, but what I'm going to do is set the baskets in the bottom. I don't want these things floating around. I want them to be contained in the basket so I can pull them out. But I want that hot grease to have a chance to sear them a little bit before they hit the basket. Just hang that in there a second. Lay it down. Be careful you don't burn yourself. And like I say, you don't want to overload your deep fryer, so I'm going to put 4 of these in. They're pretty good size, so give them a shake. They're floating. We're in good shape. Look at that. That's it. Just keep shaking them until they, until that breading gets it hard enough that it won't bond to the one next to it, because you don't want that. You'll have a raw spot in between them. So, anyways, let me get these things. Let me let these cook for. I'll time it so y'all know, and when I pull them out, I'll show you what I. All right, there you go. 3 to 4 minutes. You just have to eyeball them. Depends on how big they are, how thick they are. But that's what you want. You want a nice dark color on them. It's pork, so you want to make sure it's cooked. At least I do. So there you go. That's how you do that. Let me get the rest of these cooked up, and probably make some rice to go with it. And once I get it done, I'll show you as a dinner and send you on your way. All right, let me just jump in here real quick and tell you, if it looks like the tops aren't getting cooked, you can reach in here after they've been on for a minute or so. Just reach in there with a fork and flip them over, and let that other side cook. Like I said, depending on how thick they are. If they're thin, if you get them real thin, you don't have to do that. But a little thicker ones, you might have to do that. I just wanted to jump in there and show you that's how I do it. Well, there you go, folks. Luckily, you stayed with me till the end because I changed my mind on the rice. I don't know what I was thinking. This is the way to do it. This is the way I love to do it. It was just hot in the house. I didn't want to make the spaghetti, but I said, hey, this is for Scotty D TV. We can't have no shortcuts, so here we go. Pork tenderloin, I've made it into kind of a veal parmesan kind of a thing. I got spaghetti with meat sauce on the side. I've taken the cutlets there, the pork cutlets, tenderloin cutlets, put them up underneath the broiler for a minute and melted a little cheese and sauce on top of them. I don't need to taste it to tell you this stuff is good. Try it, try it. It's a little bit more work than my usual stuff, but it's worth the effort. Sure hope you all have enjoyed it. Remember, you don't have to be a king to eat like one. Thanks for joining me.